Good morning, beautiful people. What's up? Today is Saturday, May the 4th. And if you guys like Star Wars, you are going to love this day because it's like, I don't know, a Star Wars day because they always say, May the Force be with you and May the 4th, kind of like a play on words. It's always been like a Star Wars kind of thing, and funny enough, today is actually the new moon, so I'm going to go through the process of doing my new moon intentions on camera with you guys. But the first thing I want to tell you is I try as much as possible to make a routine of this kind of thought process of what Tony Robbins calls priming. It's what he does to kind of start off his day. It primes his days to make sure that he's in a grateful mindset for every day that he goes into. And I feel like it's helped me. It helps me change my mood because sometimes our dreams, and it's funny, like the mood from your dream can like ripple off into your day. And sometimes you don't even remember your dreams, but you remember that mood, that feeling, that vibe. And it's very important to like, I think, like write down that vibe if you feel, you know, bad, sad, or whatever, because sometimes like it has something to do with your dreams. So like that's one thing I always try when I wake up. If I remember my dreams, I have a dream journal and I write it down, even if it's just like a vibe. If I feel bad, sad, you know, like scared, a lot of the times I wake up like freaking out, so I always try to write down the dreams I have just to keep track of them. So today I didn't have any dreams that I remembered, any vibe. Like I woke up just like I need to wake up, not like scared, mad, sad, happy, any, like it wasn't really anything. So oh my god, let me tell you, this vlogging thing is definitely an arm workout, you know what I mean? What was I saying? Okay, so priming. So one of the things that I started doing, it's been kind of like a routine for me. Every day I will do 3 things that I'm grateful for. I'll think about them, I'll feel them, I'll really like get in tune with myself and actually like think about why I'm grateful for those things. Then I'll do a blessing, which is essentially like, I kind of think about it as like a prayer without really like going in depth into the prayer. It's like, I think about, he goes more into depth of like blessing yourself and then blessing everybody around you. So what I do is I literally just think blessing. Like, who do I want to bless? Who's important in my life? Who have I come across that I love, that I care for, and I just think their names. And so I go off into like every single person that I want to bless. And I feel like it helps. I feel like that intention, that good intention helps you throughout the day, especially with those people. And then after that blessing, I literally go through, and apparently it's supposed to be like 10 minutes in total. So you do 3 minutes of like the 3 things you're grateful for. So you say 3 things you're grateful for. Then you have 3 minutes of a blessing, which is just like what I do is I just name every single person that I feel, you know, not just needs it, but that like are in my life, that's important to me, that I want to bless, that I want to bless with incredible opportunities, with incredible things, like people I want to succeed. And even like people like I don't necessarily like know, but I know they need it. You know, like there's some people that I don't know, I've never actually met, but they're somehow important to my life in some which way or form. They're important to other people in my life, and I do bless them as well, because if it helps my family, if it helps me, then I'm going to bless them. So then another thing that I do, the last thing, is 3 accomplishments that I want to do. And I just think about first, like, overall. What is something that overall I've always known about myself? I always known I wanted to accomplish them. I always know that there is going to be like important in some way, shape, or form in my life that I feel like you can really, like, in the end result, like, I think about my future, where I see myself in the future, and what accomplishments I need to start now in order to get to that future. And from that, normally to me it takes a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but honestly, like, that priming, even if you only do it for 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes of your day, and it sets your mood for the rest of the day. And that doesn't mean that you're never going to get mad or upset about something if it's like really bad, but it does mean that, like, you won't. After doing that, I rarely get upset at little things. Like, honestly, I rarely get upset at little things that, because you know how sometimes when you're just in a mood, even the little things bother you. This, like, kind of avoids that in a mood all the time, and it might be like one day it might not help, but overall, like, out of the week, maybe one day you'll feel like upset, but like 6 out of the 7 days you'll feel good for the most part. And it really does prime your day, especially doing it every single day. At first it's hard to get into the habit, but it can really help. And even if you forget to do it in the morning, like, if you remember to do it midway or even at night, like, just stop and then do it. And then, like, what Tony Robbins does, he closes his eyes. That just makes you focus on it, so it stays into the 10 minutes like range, rather than, like, sometimes if I do it with my eyes open walking around or something, I do kind of splurt off into like other topics in my head, and then it takes longer to like come back, sit down and do it. But sometimes it's easier, like if you're driving, you can't really close your eyes, so sometimes it's easier if you have the discipline to stay in that zone, like stay in that mindset throughout, driving, or throughout, things that you're doing. Then by all means you can do that, but something that you can focus on and have that discipline and stay like straight to thinking about that. Some of the things like I've felt helped is writing it down. I think in writing it down, you start keeping track of things. You start to really like see where you are in your life, where you want to be in your life, and your accomplishments. You keep track of your accomplishments. You keep track of what you want to accomplish, and I feel like that is so important in your life, in every day, and just, making being accountable for things. I feel like so many people have all these dreams and they're scared to be accountable for them because of other people or because of themselves. And I've done it before too. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, other people are scared to be accountable. Like, I've been scared to be accountable. Like, one of the things that I try to do now is admit to, like, when I say something, like, I don't just say it as like, you should, I say it because like I've done it, like, I've been all these things, and like I've learned that it's not the best way, like, I've been scared to be accountable, and I will openly admit that, and it's better for everybody else if I actually like do rather than just say I'm gonna do. And that's just the fact of life. So I'm gonna finish up some little things, some accomplishments that I've always thought of doing, and well, yeah, let's get into the process of the day. Hello, my little family. Good morning. I hope you guys are having an incredible Saturday morning. It is May 4th, so for all you Star Wars fans, may the Force be with you. May the 4th be with you. you know, that whole play on words. Shout out to you guys. I'm gonna actually post up later on a little Star Wars themed photo of me when I was little. But enough of that. Today is the new moon in Taurus. So for new moons, the thought process is to do your new moon intentions. So these mean to like the goals that you want to accomplish within the next 6 months, write them down on a piece of paper. So within your new moon intentions, write down all your goals. Do not limit yourself within the next 6 months. Make it realistic, but also don't limit yourself, if that makes sense. Like, if you know you're doing something towards that goal every single day, then write it down. Do not limit where you can go, but also don't say you're gonna make $1 million in 6 months if you have no idea how you're gonna do that. $1 million is a lot of money, but you know, still make things doable. Like, make sure there's no limit, but make sure it's doable. Does that make sense? I know sometimes it like kind of like goes against each other in a sense, but look within yourself and see really like what you're actually doing every day, or what you can start doing now every day. It cut me off. But look within yourself to see what you do every day, or what you can start doing every day from right now that can get you to that goal within the next 6 months. 6 months is by November of 2019. So do everything you can and write it down on a piece of paper. Look at that piece of paper and imagine it. Imagine where you would be in 6 months, and just be able to look at that every single day for the next 2 weeks straight. Hello everyone, we are going on an adventure! We're going camping! I'm just kidding. We are going to the beach. My brother's going camping.